It is now an honor to present to you the President of the Croatian Democratic Union, a former member of the European Parliament, and following last September's successful elections, the Prime Minister of Croatia. We would also take this opportunity to congratulate him on the birth of his new baby girl. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrej Plenković.
You see how good it is to be a former member of the European Parliament. Thank you. Dear President Antonio, dear Simon, Chancellor, Prime Ministers, Presidents of the countries, dear friends and colleagues from the EPP. Our Congress takes place only a few days after we have celebrated the 60th anniversary of the Treaties of Rome, where we confirmed our commitment to the European project, adopted the Rome Declaration, and moreover are keen to implement the Rome Agenda. The challenges which are facing Europe today are multifold. They are both internal and external. And many of us are aware that since 1989 there hasn't been such a global situation that requires more determination, strength, soberness, analytical capacity, but most of all, political voluntarism to treat the challenges around the European project. We know that the European project was founded by many of the members of the biggest, the strongest European family. And that fact reminds us of the responsibility that we all share in 2017. I will mention several aspects which, from the point of view of my party, of my government and of my country, seem to be the critical elements of Europe today. The first one is that we must strengthen the democratic legitimacy of the European institutions. This is an element where we bring the people on board together with us to construct this project of peace, prosperity, law and freedom. For that, we need to find the right balance between the talks of Brusselsization and the right involvement of the national institutions, national parliaments, and the implementation of the principle of subsidiarity. The second element is that we must show to our citizens that the common European policies and the redistributive power of the European budget has concrete, tangible effects to their everyday life. This is key. I can feel it, I can see it, I can hear it. Wherever I go across my country, we are a new member, and exactly in relatively or recent new members, you can see the sense of the relevance or not physical presence of the concrete benefits of the membership. The third element goes in terms of economy, in terms of social Europe, in terms of using our policies for youth, for education, for enterprises, for industry, for productivity. All of these aspects of our common work, of our common and single market, should be seen as concrete for our citizens. On the global level, now with the Brexit started as of yesterday, we need to see how we can improve a natural adherence to the international law, which is the founding element of our foreign policy, but also cultivating the reflex for the multilateral approach. This is key, in my view, for us, together and accompanied with further strength of the security and defence policy, including the defence budget, which my government has done a few months ago. We should also clearly say that the multi-phase Europe must be very carefully explained in our publics and in our member states. We should avoid the threat of a potential amalgam, that we understand in a wrong manner the multi-phase Europe. It exists today in Eurozone, in Schengen, in defence, in enhanced cooperation areas. What we should advocate is the inclusiveness from the start. It should never become an amalgam and later on called a directoire. That would be a wrong direction and a wrong signal. I need to say a few words about the policy that we somehow are not very keen on mentioning, even by names, and that is the policy of enlargement. And here I speak about my neighbors in Southeast Europe, especially our friends in Bosnia and Herzegovina, where we need to extend a helping hand. There are few countries in Southeast Europe which need better functionality, which need more support, and which clearly need a stronger and more visible engagement of the European Union. If we are hesitant, if we are slow, if we are reticent to bring them faster closer to us, others will not sleep, others will not hesitate, and their influence will be present, and they might drift away from the European mainstream. I'm sure none of us here in this room would like to see such a scenario. Therefore, Croatia will certainly be among those countries that will push the agenda of enlargement, despite a very delicate context. On migration, I think in the central Mediterranean route, we should follow up on Valletta and Malta declarations and meetings, on Eastern Mediterranean and Western Balkans, trying to keep the adherence to the agreement with Turkey. We hope that this route remains closed and does not further destabilize any of the publics of the members of the European Union. Just a final word on Brexit. I said it since the speech of David Cameron of 4 years ago. I think it was a strategic mistake and a lesson learned for all of us. Never put an intra-party question to become a public question, a national question, a European question, or a global question. Many of you who are members of the European Parliament know how complicated it may get if you give the floor to the populists, demagogues, and those who do not speak the truth. They can fool the people and they can end up with negative results of a referenda. My point in the Croatian elections last summer, which we won clearly on the 11th of September, was entirely the contrary. Fighting for a constructive European approach, EPP, centre-right based policies with our values, with our fundamentals, with our responsibility and credibility towards the people. That's how we won, and that's how we will combat populism in all of our countries. I thank you very much, and I thank Maltese hosts for a fantastic Congress. All the best.